Hey guys, how's it going? So in the last video I showed you my most recent purchase and upgrade for my home theater, the KEF CI3160RL THX loudspeakers. So in this video I'm going to take you through the whole process of installing in-wall speakers and show you the thought process and how it differs in my home theater and some of the things you may or may not run into and how to overcome them. And I'm just going to explain to you the method of my madness and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So let's begin. Okay, so first off, some of the things you're going to need for installing some in-wall speakers are a tape measure, a pencil, a permanent marker, a level, preferably a long one. If you have it, a laser level would be awesome. I unfortunately don't have one, but that's all right. You're gonna need a drill, a hammer, a drywall saw, some tape, and some patience. Okay, and as you can see, I've already kind of marked out on my wall where the studs are. And that's extremely important because you want the center speaker to be dead center in your room, or at least dead center with your seating position. So in this room, everything is as centered as it possibly can be. So I've already gone onto the wall and I've marked out the dead center of the room, which is 90 inches because this entire room is 15 feet wide. So that is where my center speaker is going to go. So my screen is just under 11 feet long. So that gives me approximately 2 feet of space on each side. You want to try to get as close as you can from your listening position to make an equilateral triangle. So for this theater, my first row of seating is 13 feet back from the screen. So in order to achieve an equilateral triangle or close to an equilateral triangle, my front, left, and right speakers are going to be 8 feet apart. Now I can't do 13 feet apart because then that would throw them way over to the sides, and then that would be shooting the high frequencies mostly down the wall, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to bring them in just a little bit, but that would still give for a pretty awesome and wide open soundstage at being 8 feet apart from each other. And then each speaker, the left and the right, will be approximately 4 feet from the center speaker. So I got really lucky, and where I'm going to be placing my speakers, there is no stud. So the blue tape on the wall represents where a stud is. So if you did run into a stud, you're going to have to, if you want to get them placed exactly where you want them, and a stud is in the way, you would have to cut that stud and then essentially make an enclosure out of 2x4s for your in-wall, and then sandwich that in there and then screw it into the stud. So you'd cut that out and then just add that box right in there. But luckily I don't have to do this here, so I just I'm going to be cutting out the drywall and popping these right in. So another thing I should mention too is that my this is not my forever home, and anything I do to this theater or this room I have to undo when I move out. So that's why I haven't bothered to stick my Dolby Atmos KEF speakers in the ceiling. I just don't want to go through the hassle of putting those in and routing all the wiring. And for this, it's going to be a little bit different. I do have an acoustically transparent screen, so I am going to put these behind the screen, but the wire will be somewhat visible. But I do have a little trick that I'm going to do to make it look as invisible as I possibly can. Okay, so I've already got the center speaker positioned. Now I'm just going to make the measurements for the next two speakers, and I'm going to mark them on the wall. Again, this is a part where a laser level would definitely come in handy and save me some time, but it's okay, we can get around that. Oh, and one last thing, you want to make sure that the tweeter is in line with your ears. So where I am at my listening position, my ears are approximately 40 inches off the ground. So I've made it so every single tweeter is right at 40 inches. So that's going to make it seem like the sound is coming right from the screen, right from people's mouths when they're talking. So it's going to add an even more realistic effect to my overall surround sound system and enjoyment, and make it that much more lifelike. I'm going to drill a small hole big enough to fit my speaker wire through, and then when it comes time to patching this, I just got to fill it in. All right, now KEF supplies you with 3 pieces of sticky tape. I guess this is to reinforce the drywall. And so you are instructed to put one on the bottom. And then one about an inch from the bottom on the side. Now, they didn't really specify in their paperwork why you do this. I don't see this doing anything, but it's got to be there for a reason. Okay. And then to torque this into the wall, they give you a special bit. So first I'm going to attach the wire to the terminals. And it does accept banana plugs. Okay. right. That wasn't terribly difficult. So it looks like the order they want you to tighten this down in very carefully and slow. Make sure you set your drill to the first speed. There we go. So it looks like they want you to start with this one, number 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'll be able to clean all this up with a lightly damped cloth here in a second. Okay, so just the frustrating part is that they don't tell you exactly what to do. They just give you instructions. So it'd be nice if they told you what to do, but you can kind of follow the pictures. And the first installation was a little rough, but it looks like if you slide it in at an angle first, then pop it in and then get it into place. So the next two should be installed a lot easier. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a measurement real quick to see if the tweeter's about where I wanted it. Hopefully it's in the neighborhood of 40, which it is spot on, which is awesome. Okay, you can kind of feel it tighten down, so you know when to stop. Yeah, you'll be able to feel it get tighter, so you can kind of crank it at first, and then once you feel it get tighter, you can hear it pull against the wall, slow down. I'm gonna give each one a little bit more of a tighten just for good measure. Oh yeah, you can definitely, oh yeah, that one needed more. Oh, so you have to go back and check them because it looks like tightening some loosens the others or tells you that they need more tightening. Okay. Cool. All right, so there you have it. So that's how you install one speaker. Now the rest of this is just going to be a time lapse. All right, all three KEF in walls are installed and they're all at ear level. All the tweeters are at 40 inches, so that's awesome. It's perfect. So I do have a plan for these wires hanging out. I'm not just gonna leave them there. Once I put the projector screen back up, I'm gonna go buy some of that plastic wire hiding track and put each one in it and have it run from the bottom of my screen, which is approximately right here, down, and I'll paint it the same color as the wall so it'll almost be completely hidden. And then I just want to stress, if you do own these KEF in-walls or any other pair of in-wall loudspeakers that are similar to this, and I know there are a bunch of companies that use the same type of tightening system, make sure you do not over tighten and don't go at a really fast speed. You need to be patient. The last thing you want to do is break one of the screw binding posts that clamp it to the drywall. So just go slow, take your time. You know, even if you're someone who's impatient like me, take your time because you're going to be really mad at yourself if you break those. So in my next video, I'll be testing them out and seeing how they sound. I will not bother to recalibrate these things right now, set them to reference levels, or rerun the Odyssey calibration right now, because I am waiting for 4 more KEF in-walls to come in. They are not the exact same model or series as these ones. They're just one step below, but they are still KEF THX in-wall rated loudspeakers, 4 ohm impedance, and they're still going to sound incredible. So those will be my surrounds to complete the bed layer of all 7 KEF in-wall THX loudspeakers. So once those come in, I will of course be doing an unboxing for those, and those are actually going to be installed inside my acoustic panels. So not that one, but there's going to be a longer acoustic panel right here, and I'll install the speaker in that one, and same with the back. So be looking forward to the unboxing of that set of speakers once they come in. Those other speakers from KEF are on back order, so I just have to wait for them to manufacture them, and then I will get 4 more. So once I receive those, I'll be doing the unboxing. So stay tuned to that. Once all those are here, I will be doing a full recalibration of my entire system, resetting everything to reference level, and EQing everything.